Hey guys, what's going on? Rocket Cat here, back for another Cataclismo video. So, since last video, which, by the way, I was amazed by the reception that video got. That was way more views than any other video on my channel. It was super stoked to see so many people really excited about this game because, hey, I'm really excited about this game. So I think that was super awesome to see. And given that, I mean, let's make some more Cataclismo videos, right? Yeah. So here we are in Extreme Endless. We just defended wave 69, which seems like a nice wave to stop this save at. I would push a little bit harder. I would love to get up to wave 100 at some point, but now that I kind of have an idea of what I'm doing for Extreme Endless, I think I would prefer to do it with you guys at some point. So we might do a series where we start at wave 0 and proceed up towards the end game. Now, I would just like to point out that these walls have not been min-maxed at all. There's still plenty of, like, this guy doesn't have a damage flag. I could be pushing further out to get more mist, because these ballistas are definitely great, and I would love to have more of them. Like, we have the cannons up here, we have tons of partisans down here. I did replace all my bowmen with partisans. I could replace hunters with partisans as well, but I've chosen not to. Hunters do seem to have less DPS, generally speaking, than partisans, even when you put them on high ground, but the hunters do have a lot of range, and that allows me to pick off units as they're coming in. So for now, we're leaving the hunters in, and anyway, I think we are going to stop this save and do a fresh one on a new seed. If you guys want to try out this seed for this endless map, it is a very good seed, very great for your first playthrough. There isn't too much mist fuel in this area that I've taken. I only have 46, but I've heard reports that there's about 100 mist fuel on this map, which should be enough if you go ahead and push a little bit further out for your end game. So I'll drop this seed number in the description. So if you want to try out this map, definitely recommend it. It's a great seed that I found after, like, you know, regenerating the game, you know, 6 or 7 times. So now, what do we want to talk about today? Well, today I want to do a sort of addendum video to the previous wall discussion video, in which we looked at wall construction, and thank you guys for all your insightful comments. It was a great discussions were had in the comments section of the video, and I had a lot of great conversations with other folks on the Cataclismo Discord, on Reddit, the Cataclismo RTS Reddit. So I've learned a ton since last video, and thank you everyone for all your contributions to these really exciting discussions. I love talking about this game. It just really got me addicted, and it's just love the types of nerdy conversations that this game can facilitate. So I would like to clarify that the walls in the last video definitely did get me through extreme campaign. So they were absolutely helpful for that, but I found them absolutely lacking for extreme endless. And there are a ton of other little optimizations we can make in order to make our walls stronger. And this is not the version of those walls. I actually, I was kind of learning these things as I was proceeding through this playthrough, and these are not min-max walls at all. And there are a lot of things I could be doing to make this better, but as you can see, we were still able to get up to the end game. So I don't want it to seem like you need to be using the absolute min-max to the nines walls in order to make it this high in extreme endless. You absolutely do not. These are not, you know, these are not superpower gaming walls. They're just you know, pretty basic 3 high at the base and just spammed walls. So the first thing I wanted to talk about from last time is interlocking. So a lot of you pointed out that my walls had some issues due to not interlocking, and I don't know what it is. I did try interlocking when I was testing things out, but I think I was doing it wrong. So let's quickly interlock some bricks here. Okay, so here we are with an interlocked setup, and let's go to this setup. So as you know from last time, so we can actually tolerate 2 things to fall here. But the trick is that because these two are supported by these two stone bricks here, this does not fall. However, if we go like this, let's quickly pause. If we go like this, then this whole section is going to fall. So it can tolerate two, but it cannot tolerate two that are underneath. Now, if we switch over to our interlock setup, if we delete these two, only this brick is going to fall. And once we take out three, then this section will fall. And this section, so on and so forth. So this is definitely the more sturdier setup. Thank you everybody for pointing that out in the comments. Interlock your bricks as much as you can. You can actually stop staggering after a while. The only thing that matters really in this kind of setup is that you have at least one low down staggered section. So above here, these don't need to be staggered. And just to quickly show that off, here we have three high bricks that have not been staggered, but we've staggered the bottom section. And if we delete these two, we see that only this one falls. And as before, once we take out three, this whole thing falls. So if you don't want to mess around staggering every single layer, you can totally do this. Though I do really like the aesthetic that this provides. Now, there was something else I learned last night on a fantastic Reddit post. Huge credit to this poster, and I would like to show you that next. What the heck is this? Well, it turns out that windows are a little bit OP when it comes to fault tolerance. So normally before, okay, yes, we expect this to happen. We expect this piece to fall, but normally with our previous setup with 2x2 staggered bricks, once we take this brick out, we would expect this whole thing to fall. This whole section here, but it doesn't. This might be just a weird property of the windows, but we can actually also take out this brick and it's still, the top isn't falling. We can even take out this brick and this brick. So this is 6 faults and we still have not fractured at the top. Now this is insane, insane levels of fault tolerance. There is a little bit of weirdness where if you have bricks up here, say you have damage flags, as soon as you take out certain bricks, there's not enough support up here for these. So that means these will fall after these 4 bricks, is it? There it is, after 5 bricks. But honestly, the amount of fault tolerance that's built into, and this is just one layer, you could build this layers deep. And so this is probably what I'll be doing in the future, especially in the early waves of extreme endless, because breaches absolutely are unavoidable, I would say, in the especially as you're building up your economy in extreme endless. So this is a nice way, like you might get breaches, but you're going to save a ton of stone and you're going to keep your units safer on top of the wall. Yeah, you're just gonna take less damage in terms of stone. All this stuff does not need to be replaced at the end of the night, so you don't have to spend that stone. So I think this is a great design, a really nice find. So hats off to that Redditor. Go give him some love. So I want to share with you guys some other wall concepts that I've learned about in the time since last video. So fantastic comment by Arkanai, who was talking about basically this arrangement. Now there are different ways to implement this wall. This is more a test setup version of this wall that I set up. There is a lovely blueprint here that's Steam Workshop that shows this off in more of interesting formation, where you can actually have troops here and they can be quad boosted. But I'll post that blueprint in the comments, but I just want to comment about the features of this wall real quick. So here we have the these 3x1 bricks. They've been pointed outwards, so they're only going to have one attack surface. So these are the max HP that you can have. And this is sort of where this wall gets interesting. So back here, once this layer falls, this tower is going to stay alive because it's being supported by this 2x1 brick, which is on this back. It's on this back 3x1 here, right? So this is a very nice layout, and once this brick dies, this brick is still going to stay up, which means the front wall stays up. This means that you can keep these boosts going on if there are any, even through one breach. And That said, there is an interesting property of this wall, and in order to run that, I created this sort of wall test skirmish. So what this is just 4 different walls. These are all basically the same wall. I would like to comment about this as well. I heard that this is a really nice way, even though you do lose some durability, you do gain some surface area. This is a lovely way, apparently, in order to funnel units. If you have your AoE troops or whatever, so your ballistas, this can be a nice way to funnel units because they will want to attack the weakest point. So they'll funnel in here, they'll try to go here, these units will die quickly. So if you guys want to try this out, I haven't put this to use yet, but I've heard great things. So that's another thing for you guys to think about. So this is just a quick test just to see if there's any, without any units on top, is there any sort of like speed gain towards these walls, and whether or not certain walls will collapse earlier than others, and so on and so forth. This one is just our simple dumb thick 3 high at the base, and this one is our funnel. You can see that the funnel has tons of surface area, so they start going backwards. They start going back pretty quickly, but this is supposed to make up for itself by the fact that units are dying faster in that funnel. So here I want to show you guys an interesting property as soon as it comes up. So I didn't actually know this because I've been building 3 high, but vermin and I assume other horrors as well actually do attack 1 high. So this is a very interesting property of this type of wall, where you're actually, so we took out the 3x1 here, and we have another 3x1 back here, but they're actually going to be taking time to kill this 2x1. However, there is some variance. So if we go like this, okay, so we're about to break. Now, this is a high variance sort of thing. What can actually happen, so this brick is on top of this 3x1 brick down here. And if you weren't aware, there is crushing damage in this game. So when this wall collapses, it has a chance of killing anything under it, mainly horrors, but also other walls. And because this 3x1 is underneath this whole support structure, when this collapses, actually has a chance of crushing this 3x1. So let's just have a look at this. Let's see if it happens, because it doesn't always happen. There you go. So it happened here. So this sort of arrangement ends up in this awkward position, I'd say, where yes, you do gain this support, but you also have a lot of variance. If this happens, then they've been attacking this 2x1, which has less health than your 3x1. You might be able to make this a 3x1. I'm not sure. So there's still, I think, some kinks to work out with this design, because this crush means this back layer actually has less HP than it should. However, they are going to be distracted to kill up here, but there is a full breach into your base, and if you don't clean that up, you could lose some buildings and generally be annoyed by these guys. So that one's fully breached. Back here, this is our trusty 3 height ones. It's been breached a little bit, and you can see that basically every wall breaches around the same time. So there isn't, like without any units here, there isn't a super advantage to any one of these walls. Now there is an advantage in terms of, okay, how long can you have your units boosted by each thing, how the breakage patterns, and also the breakage patterns here would be better if I had interlocked these. I didn't know about interlocking when I set up this test. So interlocking will also save you some stone. It's not going to help prevent like the speed of breach. It's not going to affect the speed of the breach, but it will help you save some stone like between nights kind of thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this test. I really like this kind of setup. I also did a similar setup to test hunters and partisans and bowmen and all that kind of stuff. So this is a great way if you ever want to test like your different setups. Just set up a skirmish, set up this kind of formation, and send the same number of enemies at each wave and see what the results are. It's a good opportunity to slow things down and really look at what's going on. So personally, still, I prefer my 3 high because it's so easy to fill in these types of gaps. Let's say we're walling in this this section. This is super easy. We just go like this and ta-da, we have a nice wall and we can start building up on top of it. Now let me just recycle all this. I still really want to try out the 3x3 building, but I just don't get it. So let's say we want to go 3 layers deep with our setup. I don't understand. And hopefully somebody can clear this up for me. I don't know if this forms a natural wall here. I don't know if, like, they can attack 1 high, so can you have it like this, or okay, we need to put another layer here, and then for this next layer, okay, we can't put anything here, so do we have to accept that this layer is going to be weaker slightly and just build on top of it? This, oops, build on top of it this. Back here, same story. So there it is. And then over here, okay, so the horrors can wrap around here, so we just kind of build like this, I guess. This is going to be weaker, but we can build this up more to dissuade them from attacking here. And now we've kind of got the 3x3 ready to go. We can drag this out to have it at the same height and then start building our structure on top of this. Generally, I'm still a little bit confused by this layout. I would love to learn more about it and try to implement it in my playthroughs, but I still have some difficulties in fitting it. And anyway, this is going to be 3 layers deep of supports, whereas this kind of setup is way more compact and provides a large sort of density in terms of durability. Like, I know that this is max HP in every single square here, every single square that's involved in this wall, and I could build more layers in front if I want more durability. Yeah, so I'm still not totally sure how I am gonna put these designs to use, although they are absolutely clever. A lot of these designs have been super awesome to learn about, but I'm still unclear on how they should be put to use. Okay, that all said, I have been working on some walls, and now I did make these blueprints before I learned that window trick, so there is the possibility to take this design and instead of doing bricks in here, we could make these windows, and I might revise it in good time. I'll probably do that ad hoc, like as I'm going through a playthrough, say an endless playthrough, and I'll just be building with windows and interlocked windows instead of pasting down the blueprint. But I will post these blueprints in the comments so that you guys can at least look at the setup. Now, this is more of an aspirational setup. This is obviously absurd. You're not going to have 2 sparks next to one another like this. This could easily be a brick, and sparks do cost mist fuel, so you're not always going to have them. These could of course be fires. There is a version of this blueprint that has been stripped of all tactics pieces. Now this here are your fire arrows, and here is your tactician's nook for up here. So this is the sort of blueprint for front of the structure, and it is 3, I would say, and a half layers deep. The back layer is slightly weaker than the front layers because we do have these 2 high instead of these 3 high in order to fit some bonuses in here. But again, this is excessive. If this is only bombers down here, then you could put the flag next to this bomber spark and stagger these different tactics. If you have partisans down here, maybe you want fire and damage, but if you have partisans only, then you can also have the damage flags back here. So you could have this back one be 3 high. Okay, now I will show you guys the scaffolding part of this build. So I've done this in a modular way. Let's say you have your tactician's nook piece right here. This is going to provide quick thinking to all of these guys here, as well as some guys out here. So let's get a stair piece in now. And stairs are just going to fit in like that. Let's put another stair. Now let's do the blank piece. We'll put the blank piece right there. And then on either side here, we are going to need another quick thing. So you can put the stairs anywhere you like. You can put the blank things anywhere you like. The quick thinking ones need to be kind of staggered like this. Of course, I don't think tacticians' nooks are super important. They do cost mist fuel as well, so it depends how much mist fuel you have. Nevertheless, this is just an aspirational build to show you guys what's possible with this sort of design. So the basic idea of this setup, by the way, I did place these damage flags. It seems like they were missing from the blueprint. They're in this version of the blueprint, but they're not for some reason in this other versions of the blueprint. I don't know what happened there, but these damage flags, we do want them back here instead of here because, well, we do want certain squares would miss out on what I'm about to show you. So, so let's say we are getting attacked and so on, and we do, let's say we're about to lose this square, right? And we have this guy here. Let's not do that. And anyway, we want to retreat. So these guys are quad boosted, and we want to retreat here. So back here, they are still quad boosted, thanks to these corner merlins that keep the range boost if you here. So this is just to show you that you can have a retreat square up here, even if you do take one brick damage here. In this design, you can have one retreat square that is still quad boosted. Now, like I said earlier, this was all before I learned that window trick that I got these blueprints together. So it is possible to completely revise this design with windows instead of with bricks. And anyway, I would encourage you guys, have a look at the blueprints, you know, see how it is built. But I would absolutely always encourage everyone to come up with their own ideas and solve the specific problem that you are trying to solve, depending on what your map looks like. Use the concepts that you learn in these videos to allow you to improvise, adapt, and build towards your situation, because that is ultimately the secret power of understanding wall building concepts in Cataclismo, is being able to adapt your designs to solve a specific problem in your situation. Maybe the specific problem you're trying to solve is, I don't have enough stone right now, so I need to have a super efficient setup. I don't have quite enough units. I am taking a lot of losses. Well, then you might be looking towards doing that window staggering. Maybe you don't have enough points yet in endless mode to unlock windows, or maybe you need a super tall and narrow wall with tons of firing platforms in order to be able to concentrate tons of fire to defend a very narrow choke. These are all different wall ideas that you might need to implement given your playthrough. You might not have enough mist fuel for tacticians or bomber sparks. You might not even have enough mist fuel for ballistas to begin with, or to stack as many ballistas as possible. So these are all sort of things that you need to adapt to, and that's what this game ultimately is all about, is adapting to the terrain, adapting to the particular nature of the challenge that is presented to you. And that to me is why I absolutely love this game. Every different playthrough feels a little bit fresh because the problems are a little bit unique. Also, before we leave, I wanted to point out that a lot of you love the wooden staircase at the end of my last video. The stone staircase was not my design. That was Kaylin Loki's design, and I did post a link for that stone staircase in the last video description, so do check that out if you want that stackable stone staircase. This one, I did figure out a way to make this design of mine stackable, so now you can infinitely stack this one layer at a time. I will also put a Steam Workshop link in the description of this video. Okay, that's everything I wanted to talk about today. Again, I would not recommend that you sort of blindly implement any of this, like this wall or anything. I would recommend that you learn the principles of its construction and adapt it to your situation. Now, when it comes to what I'm making next, I would love either to do an endless extreme playthrough, like where we start in the early game and we talk about it. The other option is to do a extreme campaign playthrough where we just one video per mission, go through each extreme mission, and I can provide some commentary about it, and strategies for success in that particular campaign mission. Let me know in the comments if you have any preference of what I do next. But yeah, I would love to keep making some Cataclismo stuff for the foreseeable future. So I hope you guys hope you guys sub, because that lets me know that this kind of content is absolutely desired. So really appreciate the response to the last video, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.